What's up? Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Look at that beach, babe.
Right there, you see that pool in the background?
That sun glow. I am so jealous. So jealous.
Well, you look very beautiful this morning yourself. So
Thank you. I've got to rush to the office right after this.
I love that
So we had
jacket
to.
you're wearing with the.
Okay, this is like my favorite, like put together, but super comfy because it's just leather, like in the
Yeah,
front, but like the sleeves and the back are like,
yeah.
and there's leather in the back too, but it's like, it feels like one of those stretchy runner zipper up things, but you
But
can
it's
play it off for
but it's
like
also a
me.
little edgy.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's like been like the most fun part for me going back into corporate has been like I still wear my leather jackets, I still wear my leather stuff, but if you like pair it with dress pants or something, you still kind of get away with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you still have like yourself, your edge amidst your day.
Hey, can you switch to landscape orientation?
I might have to, I wonder if I have to leave and come back. I think that's what I had to do last time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me leave and come back.
Sorry. Long.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, good morning. This starts our. We actually have to keep track of the time.
Yeah. It's 7:08. I got till 7:30.
All right, let's get right into it.
I wanted to talk a little bit about what got us here because things are moving quick, things are exciting. I'm getting asked, and I think it's been like a bit, I don't want to say a whirlwind because we went through like a space of like a bit of a lull, right? Where we had like our downtime. But like from your perspective, like leading up to here, what was that like? What has it been like for you? What happened? Like,
Leading up, let me ask a further question. Starting when?
I wouldn't say like not our whole entire lives, like maybe at
Right.
the point of like us reconnecting, not like we were ever disconnected, right?
So,
But
yeah, we were never disconnected, but you know how life goes. If, at least for me, what happens if I am not intentional with staying connected with people, next thing you know, even the people you love the most and care about so deeply, and they fall away.
yeah,
I have friends that are still my friends. There was never anything that happened, but we just don't keep in touch regularly anymore. And now so much life has happened. I would love to reconnect with so many people. And I think that what had happened is I'm not sure if I saw something that you had posted on social media or if I finally just made the time to give you a call because it had been so long. I'm not certain like what it was that made me call you after.
I think I remember.
Oh,
I was
what?
on my patio and I was just like having my God time. You popped in my head and I sent you a text.
That maybe that it was
It
a
was like
simple.
thinking of you, love you, miss you, like just like plain. Like that's what I remember. We
So
hadn't
then,
really like personally talked for a few years at least. Hadn't seen each other for like 7 or something crazy. Because
right.
again, life. And then I think you immediately called me or
I
something.
probably called because I specifically remember that I was walking Monty. And so it was like, oh, I'm just going to give her a call. And if
Yeah.
she answers, great. Because sometimes after you haven't talked to somebody in a while, it's just nice to call instead of
Mhm.
text or message each other. And I remember just talking to you about like where I was at in life and things that were going on and just the normal catch up, but then also kind of just like as we always do and always have done, go from 0 to 60 in a
Mhm.
matter of no time at all, where it's like, okay, enough of this is where I live, this is where I work nonsense. Now, okay, this is what's really going on in my life.
Yeah.
And we share that closeness where we are able to just after years reconnect so
Mhm.
easily and share some of the experiences that um, we're going through. And I remember you talking about even some of what you were going through and realizing that we have been through very similar situations. And I remember just feeling like it was okay for a little bit. Like what I was dealing with and what I was experiencing, somebody else was going through that. Somebody else
Mhm.
had gone through that. I wasn't alone. And even if, you know, you couldn't provide the answers for me on what to do, I wasn't by myself. I wasn't alone. I don't know how else to say that,
Yeah.
and how encouraging that was for me to feel at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we went 0 to 60. We went like the surface level and then we went like boom, like personal life hard stuff. And I remember just immediately feeling so connected because we had gone through or were going through like very similar hard stuff in life. And I remember that feeling too of being like no one else that I know of has experienced something so traumatic, so disruptive, so hard, right? And part of that falls on me because we isolate some of us when we're going through hard stuff. Um, but immediately it was like, oh my gosh, she is me, I am her, like moment. And for me, that was like the birthing of, on my end, like what's catapulted us here.
What are we going to
Um,
do to make this happen together?
Yeah, because I had my own coaching business that I was doing full time and it wasn't fulfilling me, right? Like I was doing well in more of like leadership, work, like type spaces, entrepreneurs, founders, like that type of stuff. And I was like, the whole reason I became like certified coach and all this kind of stuff was the heart of it was to help me try to make something positive out of all of the hard stuff that I had gone through, you also had gone through, um, to make it mean something other than just a really hard time where I showed how strong I can be, right? And when we connected and it was like I felt like we were on the same page, it was like, oh my gosh, like there's something here for us to do together. And I just immediately felt that. And I remember like trying to like hold back because I'm like, oh my gosh, she just like poured her heart out. I don't want to be like, okay, and you were like, but you were like right there. I feel like too. I feel like you were in that same
I
space.
think we were in the, it was like, I remember talking at one point and it, probably a different conversation and just having goosebumps on my arm, just thinking like, oh my goodness, like there is, like, this is going to be something big.
Yeah.
This is going to be more than I could have ever imagined or dreamed that could be happening. And I want to also say that, like, part of it is both of us being able to choose to be vulnerable with one another.
Mhm.
And I know that that's maybe easier for us to do in that situation just because we have our history. We have been close and shared our hearts on multiple occasions at multiple times in our lives. But like, you were willing to listen, I was willing to talk, and we were both willing to be there for one another. And
Mhm.
so it's more than just even being able to feel as though like you can speak about your story, or you can talk about your story, or you can share your story with someone who will listen, but just being able to take that chance
Yeah.
on being vulnerable. And it doesn't always look like sharing every detail of everything that's happening in your life, but it's taking the chance on, if I connect with this person, I'm letting a piece of me that's been like so guarded, and because I've been so hurt or torn down, and I'm afraid to share this with anybody because I don't know, people don't want to share that they're struggling. People don't want to share that like life isn't turning out the way that you thought that it was going to. And so I think a big part of learning to realize that you are not alone in something so traumatic and awful is also realizing that part of it is just being bold to say a little bit like, hey, I'm not okay, I need somebody to talk to about something. And you'll be surprised at what you can find when you do that. Sometimes it's just showing up at a place and allowing yourself to experience something, to allowing yourself to be somewhere. It's maybe not even saying anything about your story, but it's allowing yourself to take a chance on something different.
Mhm. Well, and like when we're in those spaces where life's not turning out the way we thought it would, or we're going through something really hard, I think a lot of times it's not like, for me, it was like a protective of, it's like, I don't want to not feel strong, or I don't want this to be like how I'm being defined, because I know I'm gonna get through it. Like it's gonna be okay, like da 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 da. But like switching from that place of like vulnerability feels uncomfortable, a lot of times because it's new,
Mm,
because you're having to be vulnerable about something you haven't gone through before. So we parallel that to like weakness, and I don't want to feel weak, or I don't want pity, or I don't want all of these things. And really, like,
mhm,
we can switch the script and be like, no, this is just what that new feeling feels like in this moment, and realize that like the strength that it takes to actually dare to be seen, to be vulnerable, to show up and be like, don't have it together right now, and I'm gonna like say it's okay, because it is what it is, and I'm gonna get past it. Like, that is, there is such strength in that, and we're wired to like protect ourselves, and I do it too, right? Where it's like, I just don't want anyone to worry, or I don't like all of the things, but realizing that like the strength that comes with showing up just as we are. And I want to flip it too, in the hard times and also in the good times,
yeah.
because I found, coming out of that stage, I am doing well. I am feeling great. I'm looking good every day for work. I'm showing up, right? Like, and this is me majorly bunny trailing, but when it comes to even like showing up online, right? I have been coached by people to show up more authentic, because they feel like it's too put together, it's too this or too that. And I was like, that was literally like my day and my life. And I'm not saying it's not perfect, right? Like we have our messy buns every day and we have like our, right? Like it's not like I'm the most
Yeah.
unperfect person out there, but like you get what I'm saying? Like I think
But
it's
you
like
don't have to dumb
you don't
yourself
have to
down to fit
yes.
in.
That's what I'm
I mean,
trying to say. Like,
be
don't
you.
apologize for any stage of life that you're in
Right.
and
Show up
own that
authentic.
stage, show up as her. And it can be both, right? It could be part of my life is not together at all. Like maybe the relationship part of my life feels not great and I'm not super proud of where that is right now, but professionally or business wise, I'm on fire and I'm great. Like you get to be both. And I think for me, what was always hard when I was going through the hardest times in life of showing up as the more fallen apart piece was that it was like, that's not all of me though. Like that's not necessarily my whole life.
Absolutely. And it's tough when you are going through something to think that sometimes it does feel like it's your whole life in
Yeah.
that day, but to be able to know that it's not,
Yeah.
to be able to know that this isn't your whole life. And so I think that we connected at a perfect time for both of us with where we were at. I had suddenly more time available to me. And so we were able to start planning and dreaming and talking about what's next. What are we going to do with what we've been through and our heart and our vision and where we want to go? And how are we going to create opportunities for women to feel seen and to feel loved and to feel heard in a space and in a time when they may be struggling with something, when they might be feeling low, when they may be feeling down, when they too may be feeling alone. And so we
Um,
started brainstorming all of the ideas. What are the things that we can do? And we also allowed things to happen naturally and kind of like work towards realizing the things that we are both naturally good with and
mhm.
our natural talents are also some of the things that we enjoy doing the most. Like I have honed the skill of hospitality with my work for over 20 years, and not only has that been my job, so I've been able to learn immensely over the years, but it's also something that I personally enjoy. You know, I
Mhm.
think of so many times Grandma Smoker and how I felt like she was the epitome of hospitality. And
Mhm.
it's not because she had the most up to date place setting, and it's not that her house was decorated like the most up to date,
Yeah.
way, but it was more of who she was and what she embodied. And I am not Grandma Smoker. I am Julie McDermott. But I think that that is part of who I am. And part of
Mhm.
who you are is the listener. You are the wise beyond your years woman. You are almost like the queen in charge. Like I remember when we were kids and like there would be like Alicia and Laura would be off doing their own thing, and people would be like trying to be in charge, and Christina would be over in the corner, like she would have everything organized and planned out, and she'd be dreaming up of the next idea that no one else has even thought of yet because they're still 3 steps back.
I did
She was
not know this about
You
me.
were
This is so
playing with
curious.
everybody, but like it's like you were almost like you were with everybody and you were part of the team, but you were also like 5 steps ahead of
Um,
everybody. And I think that that is still who you are, like you are still definitely like big idea haver. You are definitely very organized and thorough, and thinking of what's next and what's to come, as
Mhm.
well as, like, if you want to talk about kind of what you spent the past 10 years building your business as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Julie, that for my flowers this morning. That really blessed me. Um, I'll take it. Um, yeah, I think like so I became a certified life coach. It was after I had gone through my divorce. Is really destructive, really hard, long process. Um, and I was trying to make something positive out of that time. And I soon found, like, through getting certified, that it was really more for me than anybody else, that I'm a natural helper. So I think, like, I bought into doing it because it was like, oh, for others, right? I went through it and I realized, like, oh my gosh, that was for me. It translated into helping me be an amazing leader at work, helping me coach and develop people. Slowly over the years, it built just from like entry level, like new leaders, all the way up to coaching executives, everything in between, coaching founders, entrepreneurs. It just really grew. Um, and I love that work and I still love that work. But at the time we connected, I was doing that full time. And I was like, this isn't fulfilling for me. This isn't like the end all be all, I guess. Um, and was also going through another certification, or maybe had just finished when we connected. I can't remember. And I think for me, like fast forwarding through a lot, what has me the most excited about our event coming up in Lititz, PA, is this is the first event that we're doing together that wasn't already like set in place with like what people wanted, right? So like prior events was like being, let's say, hired to come in and speak to a group of corporate women for XYZ, right? Which fell under whatever expertise I had they wanted me to coach and bring, right? And we did workshops. Or like going into a salon, they wanted help with like energy management, like that type of stuff. Lititz PA is going to be so special because it is the first one where we are fully coming in with no plan, right? Like we know what we're offering. It's going to be an amazing experience and beautiful. And like the stuff Julie's pulling together is going to be phenomenal. And just such an amazing experience that alone will make it fully worth it. And then what we talk about, the workshop that we do, the coaching that we do is going to be specifically catered to a specific woman that isn't so professionally based. It will help her professionally, but to the core of who she is, and really taking care of the woman behind the title and helping her create what's next in her life. If she's feeling a little stuck, maybe she hates her life altogether, maybe she just needs like her vibe back, whatever, right? Like it's going to be like really tangible, amazing transformation that happens quickly. And so I'm more excited about this event than ever any of the other ones that we've done, purely because there's no constraints for us here. Like we get to bottle up everything that we've been through, everything we've helped others through, and create an experience where you get to literally just sit in the chair and be like, exhale and have that moment for you. And um I can't wait.
It's gonna, I mean, it really is. I am looking forward to it, maybe just because it's where I live right now. Although I am visiting Florida, if you guys can see.
Love it.
But I am excited because it's like for every woman, and only because every woman has, I feel, felt stretched to the max. Whether you are owning your own business, whether you are working at a job in a corporate setting, whether you are being a mom and doing a side hustle, the things that we are pulling together for this event are really going to speak to each one of you, because it really is creating a space for you to come in and be you. It is creating a space for you to come in and know that you are not alone, to know that it's not about the situation that you're struggling with or the tough thing that you're going through, or it's not about that. It's about being in a room with other people who are also wanting to better their lives and know that they are not alone.
Right.
And I think that that is what is really going to make this event special, is that
Mhm.
we're not in we're not in an office building with people that all work together, that all have the same like annoying email that they have to respond to every
Yeah.
day. Like, we're in a spot where really everybody's going to get to come in and be uniquely and special them, and and realize that you are not alone, because there are other people here that want something more for their life. There are other people that are coming to this that want to invest in themselves, and
Mhm.
that's what we want to do, is provide a space for you to be able to sit down, as you said, relax, rest your shoulders, and know that you are in a safe space, and that you are going to walk out of that room feeling more powerful and more aligned with who you see yourself inside. And we want you to feel encouraged, and um, yeah.
And you know what's blessed me the most about these events? And this is why it's like every woman who shows up plays such a crucial part, not just for herself, but for everyone else who's there. Because out of all of the feedback that we've gotten after the events, like almost every single person has mentioned in their own way that one of the major things they're taking away is because of a specific person they met or what someone else said. Like, not even me up there, like doing the thing, right? Like, what you bring into the room is valuable. What you carry will bless someone else, even when you're in a place in your life where you feel like you have nothing to
Mhm.
give. And one of the game changers for me in my life has been when I've shown up in a room and been able to provide value to someone else when I felt like I had nothing to give. It immediately reminded me of who I was. It immediately ignited that spark for me. And so sometimes we've got to get out of our situation for a quick second. And that's the very thing that catapults us forward. And I'm not saying overextending ourselves. You've got to listen to your body. You've got to listen to yourself. There's no expectation for anyone to show up and show out and like give anything. But it naturally happens in these settings just through conversation. And it's that reminder that you get to show up just as you, no matter how damaged, broken, unraveled you may feel, and realize that you are still a whole woman. You still have so much to give the world, and it will give you so much back in return. And
Mhm.
for me, that's the biggest game changer that happens. And that's why you can't get this type of quickening transformation in any other setting than when we come together and we spend that intentional time of it's like, hey, no one's here to show face. We're all here to be real. Own it if you're hurting. Own it if you're thriving. Whatever stage you're in, it is going to bless someone, and you will be blessed in return.
So, Rewired and Rising, Lidditz, Pennsylvania,
Go check it
May
out. We're ready to meet.
17th and 18th. Please come. If you have any questions, direct message us, or radiantrebel.net is where you can buy tickets. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.